What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Swole TCG, and we are out here with that fire, that heat, that revised best current meta control deck out there right now, hands down. Until we get a ban list, Primite Fiendsmith is the best meta control you can get. It is just the recursion, the one card plays, you know, the amount of hand traps you can just layer down. It's just ridiculous. This deck just recycles, pounds, recycles. Ryzel can't keep up, Mitsu can't keep up. They're running through the resources, man. So, I mean, this deck is crazy. This deck is so good. I'm so excited to get in with this with you guys. And I know I've been a little bit behind. I got a lot of deck profiles I gotta put out. Since I create my own videos and do all the editing myself and then, you know, put it all together, it takes a process. Plus, you know, I got wife, kid, and job, and I'm trying to bodybuild at the same time. So got a lot going on, a lot of things happening, a lot of things moving, but bear with me. I'm gonna put out as many awesome deck profiles as I can, and always, guys, keep giving me your feedback, man. I love seeing your feedback. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and get on into it. All right, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and get into the main deck, and then we'll go into the extra deck and then the side deck, and I'll go over my choices and why we're doing it. So first up, with our spicy engine, the Primite engine, and you're maxing out all the one-ofs, all right? We don't really have that many one-ofs, so you want to max out here, all right? Cards are crazy. It is tough sometimes to figure out which normal summon you want to use inside this deck, because sometimes you'll see Ether Barrel, and then sometimes you'll see Lacrima, so it can be tricky, but you got to play it to the situation, whatever deck you're going up against. You want to make sure that you are playing properly into that deck. For me, typically I like going Boguska and Pasking. That's typically what I like to do. 2 Drill Beam, you need 2. 2 is very right. I wouldn't do anything less than 2. I wouldn't do anything more than 2. I think 2 is perfect. For right now, at least, until we get a ban list and see how they hit Fiendsmith, you know, this is where we're at. 1 Dippity for your Fiendsmith plays, also your rank 4 plays. It's Light Fiend, level 4. Cute little guy, and look at this guy. This guy's real cute. Just a cutie, little cutie, bro. But hope they need to make the. Imagine a Starlight one, wild. But anyways, yep. So this is your Boguska. This is also a way to enter your Fiendsmith plays. 1 Beast of Talor. You know, you always want to run a level 6 Fiend in here. I just went with this because, you know, dude's cool, and it's not like commonplace like Summon Skull, so a little unique, a little different. Per usual, nothing really changed here as far as from the last profile. Then we got the best engine in the game, guys. I mean, just hands down, just so impressive for the last almost 2 years now, really, which is crazy to think about. Well, almost a year, but either way. Your best normal summon in the game, period. When I see this in my hand and I also see, you know, Drill Beam, it's really hard for me to choose which one to go for, because Lacrima is just so crazy and it just baits so many interactions. I mean, and I'm just going to speak on this again because I feel like people don't realize how crazy Lacrima is, because like literally you normal summon this and you activate the effect, the imperm that, all right, you stop that, you link it away into Requiem, all right, then you activate Requiem effect, stop that with Ash, so the imperm Ashy right there. What do you have engraved now? You have Lacrima Requiem engraved to get you into trap next turn. So they already wasted 2 interactions on 1 play, and you're most likely are going to have a Tractor Engraver in hand to extend out further. So like the deck is just so phenomenal, you know. So obviously 3 tracked. Right now with the way Droll is hitting the format and how everybody's running Droll, I honestly like seeing track and Lacrima obviously a lot more than I like seeing Engraver. But either way, it doesn't really matter if you Droll this deck, because it's like, okay, cool, whatever. You just wasted interaction. Now I know you have less cards to start with, and you're going to be able to play around it, because Primite's going to play around it. You know, Ether Barrel sets. You know, there's just so many ways around it. So like, it doesn't really matter if you get Drolled. Sometimes I like baiting it out just to see what they have, what kind of interactions they have. 1 Lurry, 1 Trap, pretty standard. I feel I rarely ever get a Lurry unless I have Lacrima already in hand. When I use track, I'm looking for Lacrima, and then I'm just going to pitch like whatever the weakest card in my hand is. So like maybe I have a normal monster inside my hand because you played the 2 normal monsters. Maybe I have a Paradise in hand. You know, maybe I just have extra non-engine. Maybe I have 2 nibs. Maybe I have a nib and imperm. I just get rid of the nib. You know, so like I always go for Lacrima because Lacrima is just going to add so much follow-up and just do so much pushing just right out the gate. And I've broken boards with just engine, like just purely engine. I've broken full Ryzel Mitsu boards with just engine, which is crazy because then this deck will just continuously recycle. So we'll go ahead and go into the non-engine now. So first up, the old best 9 in the game. This is the Snake Eyes format best 9, right? So we got 3 Ass, 3 Imperm, 3 Nib. Imperm Nib is still probably one of the craziest things in the world. I don't think that'll ever change, honestly, because Imperm Nib is just wild. And then next up, this is the new 9. So 3 Fua, 3 Perulia, and 3 Droll. So this right here is, I mean, this is standard. You need these guys. If you're playing this deck, if you're trying to play competitively, guys, like you have to invest in your non-engine, you know, because you can play a lot of non-competitive decks or whatever you want to call it, you know, rogue decks, rogue options. But at the end of the day, if you want that rogue deck to succeed, your non-engine needs to keep up. So if you have to invest a little bit into your hobby, guys. So if you're going to invest into your hobby, the best way to invest is by going for your non-engine. Focus on non-engine. Obviously do it smart too, because you should be able to understand when a reprint will come out, when it won't come out. Konami's been pretty good about reprints and reprinting everything to the ground. So, you know, just because it hasn't gotten a reprint yet, don't just rush to buy it. You know, you can always play without things, you know. Like, I mean, it would have been perfectly acceptable to play with just Drolls, because Drolls do everything and it's easy. I mean, you can get them for like a penny. There's copies that are like pennies. So, you know, like, if you're trying to play competitive, if you're trying to take this to regional events, you know, you want to maximize your chances of playing rogue options, and play the best non-engine as possible. So these 9 absolutely important for this format. Again, this might change once we get that ban list, so keep that in mind. Last 3 are Druis, Baldrake, and Mag. Mag helps search your engine. It gets you an ether barrel, which is pretty crazy. Anything that's going to help be a interruption for your opponent and get you into engine is just quite absolutely wild. So Mag is just so good. And then I had 2 extra flex spots in here. And Bestials are okay right now. You know, with Mitsu running around, you know, a lot of other options. Fiendsmith still being very dominant. Bestials are still good. I don't think the Bestial Primite Fiendsmith deck is that good. It's okay, but I think this is just a better route. You know, you get the functionality of the Bestials. You're not wasting a search on, you know, Bestial Lubellion with the Branded Regain. You know, even though those cards are crazy, it's not that good at this deck. This deck does enough on its own. It does so much on its own. It doesn't need the extra Bestial package of Lubellions and Branded Regains. And so this right here is correct. You can honestly trade this out for another hand trap if you want. One option I was actually thinking about in here, and I most likely will, depending on how they hit Fiendsmith, is Super Poly. If they hit Fiendsmith, I'm going to add a Super Poly. I mean, Super Poly is still crazy. It's going to be extremely crazy, even in the next coming formats. So definitely a good option to replace these with. And that will do it for the main deck. That is 42 card main deck right there. We'll go into the extra deck here. We got Baguska. This is pretty much what I'm making every time. Turn 1, I'm going first. I'm just making Baguska and Pasking and like 2 summons. If I have Fiendsmith stuff, sometimes I'll make Baguska, maybe I'll make a Caesar and pass. It just depends on who I'm playing and what I know they're working with and how much non-engine I have in my hand. If I have a good significant amount of non-engine, I'll make Baguska and pass. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people can't play through this. Like, you don't have enough, because if I have enough interruptions, like maybe I have a drill beam that's live on top of that, you know, after doing all my searches, and I still have something, so I could have a drill beam live, you know, so like I'll get rid of whatever normal summon they have, and there's nothing they're really going to be able to do, you know. So Baguska passing is just crazy because then you'll just switch this into attack position, and then on your turn you go into your Fiendsmith combos, you attack with this and you can make a Zeus, you know, and then it's so hard. If you can't kill him on the next turn, like you can just make a Zeus and you'll have Fiendsmith, you'll have Lacrima engraved, and then they'll be like, damn, there's not much you can do right here, you know. So Baguska's absolutely crazy. Castell, obviously, still running the Harpies in the side. You obviously see that soon. So Castell is the Harpies target. I took out the Exiton, and you'll see why here in a second. The extra deck is probably what changed the most here. 1 DDD, cards goated. 1 Typhon, also goated. 1 Zeus, really funny, really goated. And then the big change is 2 Desiree. It has been coming up more and more with this build, with how much recursion I have because I'm playing such a more dominant Fiendsmith variant than my Azamina builds with Azamina Fiendsmith and Azamina Fiendsmith Bestial, Azamina Fiendsmith Cash. This is maximized 3 tracks, 3 engraver, 3 Lacrima. So, and you got the trap, you got Lurie, I got Dippity going into my Fiendsmith plays. So I'm constantly in Fiendsmith plays throughout the duel, and it has come up so many times that I have Desiree on board and I could send for trap, and the trap that would have got me easy games. So this was the update, and this feels so much better, so much better. I absolutely love this. Definitely play 2 engraver, the 1 Necro Equip, still need my Starlight. Chaos Angel is just always crazy. You should always play it. 1 SP, 1 Moon, 2 Requiem, always 2, never change it. This, you cannot change it at all. If you're playing a Fiendsmith heavy build, a deck that is revolving around Fiendsmith, and you're playing 3 of all the Fiendsmith cards, 2 Requiem, always, all day, every day, always comes up. 1 Sequence, 1 Egg Monday. So that is it for the extra deck. One option I was thinking about for this was also playing Duke of Demise. There could be room for it, like one guy brought up to me thinking about siding Castell and then having Duke of Demise, because the recycling, because you can recycle Baguska and Caesar off of Duke and just do so much more follow-up. It adds so much more extra crap, and then you get the extra normal summon, so you can normal summon Ether Barrel. So it's pretty crazy. So that's probably something I'm going to be testing out here soon. I might make a 3rd video on this deck because I really love this deck, guys. I really love this deck. This deck is so clean, it's so easy, it disrupts so much. As long as you know your interactions and you know your timing, this deck can stop anything, literally. So siding this for a Duke, I think would be a correct option. For the side deck, the Trinity, Tactics, Call By, Cross Out. Pretty standard there. We got our thrust targets. 3 Featherstorm, 1 D-Barrier. D-Barrier is still good. D-Barrier still sets off things, so having the 1 of is pretty nice. And Harpy Featherstorm is Harpy's Featherstorm, you know. Card probably should be banned. And then the 3 Thrust to get into that, just to make Going Force even more oppressive, you know, because now you're making Castell, setting that and passing, and it's just so oppressive. 2 Solemns, this is a flex spot. This could easily be Castell and then something else, maybe another D-Barrier, or you could play Mistress of the Gnomes. Mistress of the Gnomes is really popular right now, just another thrust target. Whatever you guys think, honestly, this is 2 flex spots. This is easily 2 flex spots. So you can do what I said and side Castell and then play Duke of Demise, so you have the extra recursion, and then you have 1 additional flex spot for whatever you want. And then 3 Lancia, because it's Lancia and we hate Malice. So that's it, guys, for the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoy. Peace.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all like my Fiendsmith Primite deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, all right? Like, comment, subscribe, man. It really means a lot to me. You guys just giving your feedback and helping expand this community that I'm trying to build, this creative, diverse community. You know, we're trying to build a more unique meta, and I have so many cool ideas that I want to put out there. I'm testing some stuff with Luna Light. I still have a Mitsu Azamina profile I need to put out. an updated one, so much stuff on the way. I got a Diabell Regenesis deck I'm working on too. Really cool, really fun. All the Diabells are 2,500. Synergizes with the Regenesis, so people think you're on White Forest, and all of a sudden you got the Regenesis card. Deck's crazy. Deck's crazy. A lot of cool stuff, man. I'm so excited to get into it. Let me know what deck profile you guys want to see, if there's any kind of updates you want me to do. And also, do you guys want me to do tier lists, man? Do you guys want me to do tier lists? I think tier lists are very important to help people get a fundamental of what they should put in for their non-engine. I think that's a huge key factor when you're building your deck, is to focus on your non-engine and how much non-engine you can put in. You know, if you know your deck is heavier on engine and you only have 15 slots, you know, that's a tight 15 slots for non-engine. You know, so just let me know what you guys think, and we'll go ahead and build some deck profiles, get creative together as a community, and stay swole. And like I always say at the end of these videos, man, if you're watching this, go for a walk, man. Go for a walk. Get your steps in. Go hit the gym. Take 30 minutes out of your day to get right, all right? Because, you know, we don't want to just better our minds. We want to better our bodies, all right? So stay blessed, stay swole, stay creative.